2 nights ago, on the 19th of November 2009, I had a very interesting dream, which started as an out-of-the-body experience and moved into a lucid dream, bringing me into absolute duality with a multidimensional aspect of myself. I remember falling asleep early in the morning and moving straight into the astral awareness. I sat up in my bed in my astral body and rolled out of my body, falling onto the floor. At that time, I wondered if I was going to hit the floor with a bump, and I closed my eyes. But then I remembered that the floor is not solid when in the astral realms. I then decided I would fly out of the window and find the person who I was going to give dream healing to. But when I opened my eyes, I was in a completely different body, in a completely different house. Yet this body and this house was absolutely familiar to me. It was as though I had lived an entire lifetime as this person. I looked in the mirror. I had blonde hair, whereas in my actual life as Magenta Pixie, my hair is red. And I was wearing a long blue dress to the floor, which wasn't exactly in the fashion that we have here on Earth in the year 2009. I then walked into the hallway thinking how much I loved this house, and I wondered if perhaps I had moved into an aspect of myself that many would know as a past life. But then I spotted my helper. She was dressed as a maid, but she had the vibration of a spiritual guide. And I spoke to her and said, "I'm a bit concerned because I can feel the duality between myself and Magenta Pixie. It's like the main focus of my consciousness is coming from Magenta Pixie, and I really think I am Magenta Pixie, and that this body is just an astral body within a lucid dream. But I know that that's not true, and really I'm me. This is the first time in this life that I felt my consciousness actually coming from Magenta Pixie. I've always known about her, but I've never felt that I was her. It's like I know I'm lying in my bed dreaming instead of my knowing coming from me." The maid, helper, guide replied, "Don't worry, this is completely normal. You are Magenta Pixie and yourself. And because they are all ascending in that dimension, then they have access to us. When they have access to us, then we feel sometimes that we are them, because we are. And our dimension is ascending as well. Eventually we will be able to choose from which multidimensional aspect of ourselves our consciousness anchors from. Just relax and let it happen." I replied, "But I'm so attached to this lifetime. I love this incarnation, this house and you. I'm happy. Why can't it stay as it is?" The maid, helper, guide laughed and replied, "The only constant is change." I then said, "Can you look after the house while I go for a flyabout?" She said yes, and I flew out of the window. The last thing I remember thinking before I lost lucidity was, I can fly in this dimension. I don't want to always be coming from the consciousness of Magenta Pixie because they can't fly like we can. When I woke up, and up until right now, this dream was 2 nights ago, I feel as though that woman, that lady with the blonde hair and the long blue dress, does exist. She's an aspect of me living out her life in a dimension that runs parallel to this one. I can feel her even now. See that image in the mirror before me, see that lovely house, and remember what it was to fly. It has left me with the question, what then exactly is the astral body? This is Magenta Pixie, and thank you for listening.